Hey guys, I'm here at Petco. I just got some fish and shrimp. Got those little guys for the nano tank. I got some really nice guppies here. So I just wanted to show you guys some of the tanks, just so you can see where I go at Petco and how nice it basically is here and how all the fish aren't dead. And then, so I'll get to the 6 of them in just a second, but this is one of the tanks here at Petco. Really nice planted tank. Turtle tank's empty. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys some of the tanks. I got salt water, but I'm gonna stay out of that, as you guys know. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to the 6 gallon now, and I will see you guys in a second. Hey guys, so I just got back from Petco, and I got 6 cherry barbs and 3 new ghost shrimp. So just starting off with the simplest thing first. The ghost shrimp are here generally just to have as a tiny bit of cleanup crew in this tank. And it's only temporary. I mean, of course they'll stay in this tank for as long as they live, but they're not the main cleanup crew that's going in here. So with these cherry barbs that I just got in, they are super healthy, super nice, and do not care about stress so far at all. They've instantly started eating, not even probably 30 minutes since they've been in the tank, and as well as not stressing out whatsoever. And so far as I could tell, they love it in this tank and do not care about me or anything that seems to go in. So with the plants in this tank, before I move on, my Java Fern is doing extremely well. That's the plant in the middle. And I have another plant which I cannot remember the name of, which you cannot see. It is in the background. But it's the plant that's also in my 10 gallon tank that you guys have seen. The really tall one that I just put in the 10 gallon. And that one is doing extremely well as well. And it has no light, but it still lives, and I don't know how. But with the Java Fern, or not the Java Fern, the Crip, so as you guys saw in my last video, it was uprooted and did not look that well. So now I believe one of the leaves has started to melt. As you can see right there, it's that big hole in the leaf on the left. And it's lost 2 stems as well. But it's hanging on. It's still alive. It's still green. It hasn't turned black yet, so I'm hoping that it can clutch on to life and be okay now that it's back inside the sand. It's got the fertilizer stuff, of course, that's been in the water, which I'll have to replace at the end of this week. And then, what's it called? It's also doing okay with lighting. It's getting some light, and of course, as you guys know, I'm getting the LED lights off of Amazon, and I'm going to order those in and make sure that the whole tank is lit up and that all the plants are good and everything gets a good amount of lighting, and as well as just making sure that I can see everything in the tank clearly. So right now I'm using the little lamp that you guys have seen in the past couple videos or the last video. So that's just temporary, of course, like you guys just learned. And it's doing okay. I mean, it lights up the tank. The plants are still alive. And so far, it gives some dark hiding spots or dark shade areas for the fish, and also some lit up areas where I can see them. And they're all in the front right now, so I'm happy about that. But so going back to fish, these little cherry barbs, I just got Petco, as you guys saw in the first little segment of the video. And sorry about how quick the video was. I was rushing through, and as well as there was a few people that didn't want to record, and then there was like a bunch of kids running around, and yeah, so I didn't want to get them in the video, so sorry if I was rushing in that video, but it looked okay. But yeah, so with these cherry barbs, they're going to be eating, of course, the frozen brine shrimp, which I already said, and I'm planning on putting one other tank mate with them. So since these guys are super peaceful, I have a wide assortment of fish that can go with them, but not a wide assortment of fish that can go in this tank. And that's, of course, because of size. So I'm looking for a fish of that is a bottom feeder is plant safe and does not get big. So I've kind of decided on 3 or 4 different choices for that, and that is of course the Cory catfish, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite fish, and they have 2 in my 10-gallon. Or a type of loach. I'm thinking about dwarf chain loaches, but then again, they're not snail safe, so I gotta look into that more. Or any type of tiny loach, which I'm sure there's a bunch of ones that I just don't know of. I might move my kahuli loach into here, and I'm thinking about that. Will I do it? Probably not, but I'm thinking about moving him because it's just him in that tank, and I feel like in this tank he'd be a lot better. Not just because of he gets out competed for food a lot with the Cory cats, especially since he's nocturnal, but he could come in here and then just feel a lot more safer since the lighting won't be as intense as in the 10-gallon tank. I could be wrong on that, but he most likely will be the very last option that goes in here. And my other option, which I'm thinking of for bottom feeders, is some good shrimp, which I already have 4 ghost shrimp now in this tank, but you know, they're not the best, of course, because they're just really tiny shrimp and are used as feeders, so of course if I do that, I'll probably get some Amano shrimp, which I had in the 10-gallon before the California disaster. And I've seen those guys take on the huge Cory catfish pellets just all on their own and swim off with it and just eat it for like an hour. So I know I could definitely do Amano shrimp in this tank. Plus that would be good for algae cleaning off of the plants. But and my last option, of course, is in snails because I already have snail in this tank. And if I wanted, I already have like 5 other snails inside of the 10-gallon, which should easily go in here. So my last option, which I've been thinking, is some type of freshwater goby. Now, I know there's not many of those because they're usually all either saltwater or they're brackish water. So I've been looking at a type of freshwater goby, which is a bumblebee goby. And I know there's 2 types, but again, one of the last resorts. And I know I could at least have 2 to 3 in here, which would be fine because they're really solitary. Or even just 1. I would just do 1. And I know that he'd be okay with these guys because he's not going to hunt them down, especially if I keep them well fed. So if I can find because there's 2 types of bumblebee gobies. There's one which is just brackish in saltwater, and there's one that is freshwater, but it could also go in brackish water. So I'd have to get that exact type, and I'm probably gonna, if I do get it, order it around the same time that I order in the LED lights. And that might be one of the main options, because if I get that, that's a super, oh my god, I'm sorry about the noise, my cat is scratching the wall right now, and it's really annoying. So, and there, she stopped. But if I get the bumblebee goby, I'd probably have to order it online so I make sure that I get the freshwater type, because of course I wouldn't want to try to murder a little brackish / saltwater goby in here, and that would suck. Sorry about the darkness of the tank right now. It's just I don't have the best lighting for it, but it's okay. You guys can see it when the fish go in the middle. But yeah, so the goby is basically a really nice option for me because it's like the bumblebees. They're a super colorful fish with the black and yellow, and it would be just awesome because I had them in the past in my big 25-gallon tank, brackish though. So it was the brackish species, of course. And I had puffers in it, and I had bumblebee gobies, and my little favorite, I had a snowflake eel, but of course I don't have that tank anymore because that would be the biggest thing on my channel. But so, yeah, so I'm probably gonna get one of those. I'm gonna see if Trop Aquarium gets them in before, because that's what I believe we got them before at. But if not, then I'm definitely just gonna go and go online and order them in. But of course, this is the last thing in the video now because it's getting really long, and I'm going to try to stop doing super long videos. And I'm going to ask you guys, the viewers, in the comments. Of course, I'll do my own research, but if you can, please comment a really tiny, like I said, the tank is 6-gallon, some type of freshwater bottom feeder that can go here. I know pygmy cories, which would be awesome, but I just have a really bad time with tiny things. So, yeah, just comment any small freshwater bottom feeder other than shrimp and snails, of course a fish, that's what I want, that could go in this 6-gallon tank. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Please like the video and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video with more updates on this tank, my 10-gallon tank, or any future project that sorry, I cannot talk, projects that I'm going to be doing. So like I said, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.